Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently working on getting a little bit of extra building done here, but we're getting very close to being in a point where we just need to build tall or expand. Those are the options. Now, I would say that we're getting very close to our alloy cap, but we're actually not. Our alloy cap has somewhere along the line increased up to 25,000, so that is pretty solid. We're going to tick on forward here, and let's see, what do we got here? Members joining the galactic community? Yeah, that's fine. Space shanties. Okay, we're going to continue to work on that, and we have our astral rift pending here. Do we want to press the button with 4 dots or the button with 6 dots? Well, the last two have been the bottom option. We'll find out if that's correct. That's definitely the pattern, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be what it ends up being. We'll find out. Of course, we're working on Canum Prime, and the Zakati Fortress here is lacking a job at this moment. We should put in a city district here, and that should probably be before the Noxious Swamp gets cleared. The Starbase in Leloria has finished its construction queue, and we'll upgrade that. That sounds good? Cool. So we're definitely making solid progress here. Okay, more Space Shanty lyrics. Sounds good. The real question, of course, is, who are we going to go against first? And it would probably be the Free Brill administration, to be honest. They're currently overwhelming to us. They're equivalent to us economically now, apparently, but they're inferior to us technologically. And that's what really matters at this point, but we have so much economic headroom at this point. We actually need a bunch of buildings. Okay, this is a tech world here, and that seems absolutely fine. But what do we want to put into this building slot? We could put an astral siphon. This only produces, well, primarily produces physics research. So there is that. I'm currently leaning towards putting in an identity repository here, but that doesn't require jobs. So we'll put in an identity repository, but let's get a couple more minerals here. Let's build a city district, and we'll put that in first. This is an industrial world here. It requires a job and amenities. Okay. I would like to put in here simply an alloy foundry. That's not going to solve our amenity issue, but for the moment, it'll do. So here, of course, is reasonably fine. We can get 8 additional districts here, but there's another 8 with tile blocker. Okay, we should be able to build a city district here, which would solve our amenity problem, and it'll give us a bunch more housing, which we're going to ultimately need. So let's build a single city district here, and we'll be able to get more industrial districts out of our tile blockers. That seems reasonably fine for now. Just a single city district to produce some amenities, although maybe that's not the best idea in the world. No, I'm going to go with an industrial district. Amenities will be a problem for a little bit. So we've got this tech world here. It's got an astral siphon. It's got a faculty of archaeo studies. We should probably consider putting in an identity repository. Now, that's very expensive. 2,000 minerals. I'm going to sell off a bunch of food here, and we're going to buy in the 2,000 minerals, and we'll put in that identity repository. It's very powerful, so we definitely want to do that. Mining world here, we can absolutely put in a mining district. And then we've got this tech world. Lacking a job here, huh? How are we doing on our exotic gas? +0? That's inauspicious. I'm leaning towards a city district here, which again would be rather expensive. We can sell off some 0 probably, and buy in like another 1,000 minerals. We're buying a lot of minerals, but we put in a city district here to get a building slot. That will also solve the problem temporarily. So that's okay. We've got this generator world here, and amenities are, of course, a bit of a problem. I don't think we want to upgrade our energy nexus here. I think we just want an energy district. And then on our capital, what do we want to put in? Well, we would like to upgrade our research complexes. This will put us net negative in our exotic gases. We could buy exotic gases or fabricate them in other manners. So that is a reasonable way to go about doing things. Let's just upgrade this research complex for now. So that is a lot of construction. No doubt about that. We just capped out our astral threads. Okay, yeah, we should do something about that. Physics Insight first, and Astral Boost is 5 years. How many years is 1800 days? Hang on. 1800 divided by 365. That's about 5 years. Okay, so this could be up permanently. Noted. So these are the same in that regard. Okay, so that seems fine for right now. Cool. So we have a leader level up here. That was our Empress. And let's go with clear blocker speed. That seems reasonably okay. I'm also interested in going through and clearing off any existing blockers. It will be somewhat expensive to do, for sure. But we can get some of that going anyway. So that'll be fine for right now. Clearing blockers would be a good thing to get done, and we'll just make our way through that list as we can.
Research
concluded. So that seems good for now. We are, of course, going to want to clear these impassable mountains. We just finished up antimatter power. That's great. And we're not yet going to actually start building our fleet. Let's grab barrier point defense, I think, or improve deflectors, maybe. There's a lot of tech here that I want to get. Let's grab improved deflectors. It's not going to take us very long to get through that. That's for sure. And that's absolutely fine.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, so we just finished up construction up here in Fear. This science ship kind of has nowhere to go for the time being. Or rather, construction ship. I'm going to move it back to Sol. We cannot grab this dark matter at this point. We cannot grab the Zero. And there's not much else that we can do at this juncture. So that seems fine. We are interested potentially in harvesting some of the trade that is up over this way. So let's think here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In theory, this entire wing could be harvested by a trade station in Nihal. It would have to pass through Procyon and Alpha Centauri before it gets to Sol. But that's very, very close here. We would be able to either patrol that or just deal with pirates very quickly. Let's get going on that. Out over this direction, there's not as much trade available. But we would be able to harvest most of that probably from Lake Tius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that would go all the way out to Debe. And then we would have everything up over this way. No, that seems good. 2 trade stations to harvest basically our entire empire is not bad at all.
Cleared.
That seems great. So we're going to get going on that.
Concluded.
We just finished up in Daba here, and we're just going to max this out with gun batteries for the time being. We'll put in a target uplink computer and a disruption field generator. Did we queue that up here? Yes, we did. Okay. So that's fine for now. Leloria is upgrading to a starhold. This archaeological site is now finished. So we could get army damage, or we could... Army damage is probably what we want, to be honest. Yeah, we'll exploit that promising technology. And we've also got this archaeological site pending, so this is the space shanty. We'll continue to work on that. Now, which of our science ships was it that just finished? This one up here. Okay, so we can grab a minor artifact up here. That is actually something for our construction ship to do. And we're going to go do that. I do not want to do this archaeological site because we know what's going to happen and we are not prepared for it. So in that case, we probably want to come out over this way and start excavating the site over at Nihal. That'll be fine for now. We've got a bunch more of these to do. So that all looks good for the moment. Back to our planets here. We can take a look at what we've got available here. Yeah, that all looks fine for now. We are clearing out this tile blocker. What do we have here? 3 tile blockers? Okay, we'll start working on active volcano. That's okay. Habitability going up by 5% is great. An additional tile blocker clearance sounds good. Let's go on that.
Research concluded.
So there's those deflectors done. We could grab Hyperdrive 2, and that would probably be a really good thing to do. Our transit times are quite long, so that is fine for the moment. Archaeological site pending here. Okay, ruins long forgotten. Perhaps we will have more luck, though. Cool. So we've got all of these buildings constructing. They'll be finishing up reasonably soon here.
Blocker cleared.
Excellent. And our Astral Rift event is pending. Okay, a pedestal with a giant crystal has risen from the ground. All the doors in the complex have opened. Chronometers oscillate wildly between the extreme values when in close proximity to the crystal. This must be the source of the time loops, and a key part of this building's purpose. The choices within this gauntlet of chambers seemed entirely arbitrary. They weren't. It was always the bottom choice. Perhaps they were meant to test the ability to pass information between loops? Either way, surviving it allows us to leave with the crystal. Its ability to affect the flow of time could prove extremely useful, so we find a time crystal, and that astral rift is now explored. So that's fantastic. That's this one done. I do want to take a look at that. We've got this rift here, but that is it for now. Okay, so at this point, we should probably go and start working on our archaeological dig down over here. That, of course, gives us access to tier 3 here. And we can get 2 more from astral splitting. So we would have to find an additional astral rift to come out over here. Okay, so we could grab a hyper relay insight. We don't have the hyperlane breach points technology, but hyper relays would be very good. Quantum catapults. Okay, noted. For the time being, we can't do either of those. We lack the technology here, but we lack the astral threads to do this. So for now, that's okay. We'll just have to not do any of that for the moment. The Mechpuck's protectors, huh? We all have much to gain from this encounter. So we're meeting people out over this way at this point. This is reasonably fine. We are up to 268 populations here. They don't like our lack of respect. Oh, they're trying to humiliate us. This is probably fine. Where are these guys? They're really long ways away. Well, actually, our monthly influence doesn't matter that much to us at this point. Happiness is a little bit worse, but we'll accept the humiliation for now. We are good galactic citizens. For now.
Blocker cleared.
So this is an agri-world right now. This should not be set up as an agri-world. I feel like we have sufficient worlds in a lot of regards. I'm currently leaning towards having this be a forge world. We currently have a city district here, though. So that's interesting, for sure. Maybe the plan was for this to be a science world? No, it's a fortress world. What am I doing? Okay, this needs to be a fortress world. That was already designated. We want this to go here. Fortress world. Fantastic. So that doesn't actually help us all that much in terms of like upkeep or anything like that. I guess stronghold build speeds would be fine. But we do want to build our stronghold here. Now, it would be definitely interesting to put an identity repository on every single planet. They're expensive to upkeep, though. But that's probably fine. They also produce 74 trade value and give a bunch of robot output. So the idea would be something like a robot assembly plant and an identity repository on every world. And then after that, whatever we want to put on there. We could put on monuments, but honestly, I feel like our Unity has been pretty decent. So let's grab, and actually the identity repository produces a bunch of Unity as well. So let's grab this for now. And that is quite expensive, no doubt about it. Does that give any jobs? No, it doesn't. It just houses repositories. Okay. Or rather, houses identities. So that's okay for now. We dipped negative in our consumer goods and in our exotic gases. That's unsurprising.
Blocker cleared.
That is probably due to our happiness. We have a tradition available here. Ship upkeep reduction or ship fire rate. We're going to take the fire rate for right now.
Blocker cleared.
So that seems fine. We're at 3495 for our fleet, which is not very powerful, and that is understood. So we finished up our colony here. We obviously want to immediately put in a robot assembly plant. We'll have to wait until the month tick, but that's okay. So we'll get that roboticist job underway. Refugees fleeing from the state of Havo are arriving. They are welcome here, but they're going to become robots. I hope they're cognizant of that fact, and they are willing to become that. They will need to know that, for sure. What do we got going on here? I'm thinking more tile blocker clearances. That sounds good. So we had a bunch of pops arrive, and we should take a look at our species here. So that is these guys. They currently have full citizenship, and we're going to set them over to assimilation. They gotta be robots. Only robots are allowed. So this tech world here needs an upgrade. That is going to be the planetary capital. So that's 800 minerals. I'm going to buy in 500 here, a couple hundred more, and now we'll have enough to build our planetary capital here on the next month. So that seems good. We have a missing scientist.
Research concluded.
And let's see here. That's the plasma thruster ready to go here. We can go for star fortresses, and that's probably a really good thing to go for here. Let's do it. Archaeological site pending here. Ah, yes. More lyrics. Okay, sure. That is fine. And these constructions are looking pretty decent at this point. We're making our way up to a Glomia here, and you are heading over to Nahal. Actually, why don't you just go ahead and excavate here in Procyon? That's absolutely fine. What archaeological site is this? Robot debris? Okay. So we're quite negative in our consumer goods right now. That's noted. I think this has to do with our happiness level. However, we should consider building here a civilian industry. This is definitely a civilian industry world, and that seems fine. Equipment malfunction, huh? -3 clues, that's unfortunate, but whatever. Seems fine for now. What is using up our consumer goods? I have to wonder. 138 jobs? Okay. I'm wondering, is identity repositories, do they utilize consumer goods? No, the upkeep is actually not consumer goods at all. Noted. Okay. So the transit hub and hyperdrive 2 is now ready to go. Sounds good. Hyper relays. Let's go. Fantastic. Hyper relays are going to be very useful for us, no doubt about that. I think fleet command limit is pretty solid here as well, so we'll get going on all of that. Now, being low on consumer goods isn't necessarily the best thing in the world. Someone is trying to establish contact with us. We hear the rush of flowing liquid in the distance, and the squawking and wing flapping of tiny avians taking flight. The transmission seems to be coming from a thriving biome. Hello? There's no response. Hello? We just keep saying hello. Hundreds and hundreds and thousands of times. We're just going to send hello on a loop 10,000 times a second. Okay, it isn't doing anything. We're going to end communications here because apparently they have failed to establish communication.
Construction project concluded.
So this is Flash Forge Hyper Relay. So it allows our construction ships to instantly build one hyper relay in a system at no cost. Well, it does cost something. It costs 50 influence and 500 astral threads. So that's understood. And we're going to gain the quantum catapult insight that can only be utilized once. So that is fine. Let's get that done. Excellent. And a new astral action is available. No, it's not. Not currently. Okay. So that looks fine for the moment. Our identity repository on our fortress world is underway, and that will be decent as well. Yeah, I think we want an identity repository on literally every world because of that robot output increase. Not to mention the other games. The other games are very solid as well. So we've got this tech world here. We've already got an identity repository here. So we should probably end up building either a research lab, or we could arguably build an astral siphon here. And I think an astral siphon does make a lot of sense. So let's get that going. This fortress world is still lacking jobs, so we're going to need to put in another city district here. Oh, we have a whole lot of jobs we're lacking. We are at 291 pop right now. Okay, that is absolutely noted. We're going to buy in whatever minerals we can. It will not be enough. This tech world, I'm going to build a city district in. This industrial world, okay, we're producing 19 there right now. That's fine. We're going to need a lot more minerals. A whole lot more. So that probably means we should go to the mining world first, right? And build this mining district. which we can do right now. So we'll get that underway at least. A lot of these pops are going to migrate before we can actually build. That's okay. Someone is attempting to contact us again. We hear the sounds of the biome from earlier. Still, nobody is present. Let's trace the source of the transmission. That gives us a special project here, and we'll do that. That finishes in 180 days. Okay, sure. Seems fine. So this generator world here is also a mining world, but we could certainly build a generator district here, which I'm going to do. We'll get that underway.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, 2 sides. Yes, we find additional minor artifacts. That sounds good. I would very much like to get additional minerals here, and we certainly could. We could sell off some volatile motes and buy in a couple thousand minerals here. That seems reasonable. Yeah, especially since none of these are no longer able to migrate. So this industrial world here will put in an industrial district. This forge world will get an industrial district. This industrial world will get an industrial district. I know that's shocking. What else are we going to do? Well, on this tech world, we have an open building slot, and we want an identity repository here. That's not going to solve our jobs issue. So instead, I'm going to build a city district. We can't afford the identity repository at this time. Now, I want to get additional work done here. We're going to sell off some more zero, and we're going to buy in 500 more minerals. We want to get these constructions going as rapidly as we can. So we'll get an industrial district going here, and that'll be good for now. We've got 3 more that we need to work on, and those will definitely get worked on. This is society research, so this is going to end up being a tech world. Okay, so that's reasonably fine. We'll put in a tech world there. We're doing very well in tech for right now. No doubt about that. Are you doing anything? No, you are not. So we should have you head over this direction and start working in, like, Sapad. We'll go excavate there. That'll take them a while to get there, no doubt about that. So that seems good for now. Now, in Nahal, I want to upgrade this to a Starhold. Tius, I want to upgrade to a Starhold. Daba is good enough. Laloria, we definitely want to spam out the gun batteries here, and we'll put in the target uplink computer and disruption field generator. So that is looking good for now. We're going to want to have these be trade hubs for those sweet, sweet collection ranges. We were able to locate the source of the mysterious transmissions. On tracing the signals to multiple points of origin, we've ascertained that they must be coming from a moving object. Our leading theory suggests we were contacted by a ship, which may be used as a nature reserve of sorts. We'll establish communications here, and it's these guys. Okay. They had to know how curious we were. How do we value life? That depends. Life comes in many forms. A sensible answer. Few would hesitate to remove something that would threaten life. Yet, it bears remembering that all life holds infinite potential. Now, I will shed some light on my reason for contacting you. Go on. I'm Azerin, a former astrobiologist from Asthea turned scholar of astrocreation. I seek the materials needed to create new life. Astrocreation requires more energy than I can generate on my own. Azerin pauses before continuing. I assure you, this is a worthwhile pursuit, but first, a challenge. I would like to send you a gift of sorts. See if you're able to neutralize it. Okay, so Azerin's gift. Sure. What is Azathea? Was my home. Yeah, it was a Gaia world. And they're lost. Okay, well, let's see what this gift is.
Updated.
Oh, that's pretty easy. 2 months of society research. Not too major there. So I would definitely like to get an upgrade going on this tech world, and we would like to have a building slot here, so we'll get a city district going. On this factory world, we're going to want to have an industrial district, but we lack 288 minerals for that. We're 2 month ticks away. So let's get going on that ASAP. We are now 1 month tick away, and this archaeological site is pending. That's fine. Cool.
Special project concluded.
We've made progress with Azerin's organic gift. The growing potential for interdisciplinary scientific advancement is encouraging. We've collated our findings, having neutralized any potential threat from the microorganism, and we are ready to contact Azerin again. Proceed. Open communications. Azerin is delighted to hear of our breakthrough. Wonderful. I appreciate and applaud your efforts. Now, Carpetania, I have another question. To escape death, would you take the life of another? I mean, arguably, we already did. We escaped death by taking our own lives. So, there's that. And we force other people to take their own lives in order to become robots. And have, well, not eternal life. We don't have eternal life, but a much longer and more productive lifespan, shall we say. So, what is our answer here? I think our answer is yes, we would. Indeed, most would, yes. Okay, so they have another gift for us. We must make it blue. So we'll get going on that. That one will be 5 months. That's fine. And let's see, did we get this other construction started? Looks like there was some migration that was able to happen. This world now needs a job. And this is a tech world, so we would want to absolutely put in a research lab. We need 101 more minerals for that, and we'll have that momentarily.
Research concluded.
There we go. So, networked relays, hyper relay construction, that is a very, very good thing for us. And we can start working on the quantum catapult if we wanted to, but I don't really see a reason to. Instead, we can grab, say, blue lasers. That seems okay. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to keep up, or attempt to keep up, with our rampant pop growth. We have our colonies developing very, very quickly. No doubt about that. These guys are still inferior to us technologically. That is really, really good. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadowwolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.